What a play after play after play.
And he's got a lot of room to run, and she is taking over.
Rhodes, that's just the greatest conference in the country is showing out tonight, gentlemen. I cannot believe it. That is the greatest high school football game.
I feel it's the best conference in the country. I call it the SEC of high school football.
Sorry, hit him in the mouth.
It's awesome, and it's really difficult.
It's just a blessing to be able to play against the best of the best in the country. I feel like I'm the best.
Without a doubt, it's the best conference in the country.
Steel, sharpen steel.
There's a lot of pride in the WCAC.
You can't turn the ball over. You can't make mistakes.
WCAC, they're all big games.
But you wouldn't want it any other way.
We wouldn't want it any other way on a Tuesday night. Thank you so much for being with us. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
Man, that got me fired up. That was some good stuff right there. We got
I know,
a little bit more
I was
coming.
shaking all around. He's Kevin Ricka.
Lights, camera, action, man. We're in their director's chair, but there's 10 head coaches doing that for us and hundreds of student athletes doing it all for us. Well, these guys back behind the scenes are doing a pretty good job as well.
Yeah, carrying the load as usual. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Kyle. The team is back. We've had an awesome offseason. We haven't been here on Tuesday nights to talk about the WCAC. We have been talking about the other Washington sports. Come on back later this night for a little more of that. But right now is for the greatest high school conference in the land. We've been doing our due diligence, walking, talking, interviewing, man on the street, getting out
On the field. Men on the field, buddy.
We are having the time of our lives.
Yeah, it was awesome.
This is absolutely why we started doing this, to shine a light on the amazing work not just these kids are putting in, but all those amazing coaches, coaching staffs, administrations. It's the best conference in the league because it's full of the greatest people in the world. We have two pieces here. We're going to start off. We're going to start off with the Metro Division. And without further ado, Luke. We kicked off the Metro Conference trip at the brand new Paul VI campus, where Coach G and his crew were hard at work building on an undefeated spring season and a strong community atmosphere.
Most of our linebacking core is coming back. We have Matt Hunter, who's one of our outside linebackers, had a really, really strong sophomore season. I expect him to take a leadership role in that unit. Same thing with Cameron Young. Cameron Young is a two-sport athlete, played some middle force last year. He's coming back and has really stepped up as a leader this summer in camp. We're really proud of him.
It's a brotherhood, to be honest. I came here last year and everyone has my back and you can 100% tell.
I've never played for a team that has the same sense of family and just come together as we do. And it's just a different environment, a different experience.
On offense, the Panthers returned 3 offensive linemen and both running backs. We'll also get to see superstar Michigan basketball commit Doug McDaniel on both sides of the ball.
We're proud of him coming out to play football and really having that kind of determination and the guts to play two sports.
You know we love our two-sport athletes, and at PVI the example is set by the coaches who can be found coaching track, basketball, and wrestling when it's not football season. New offensive coordinator Dan Evans is back at his alma mater to add to the Panther attack.
He's our passing game coordinator. He coached at Catholic. He's also an alum here and a Paul VI Hall of Famer for football. He brings an element to our offense that we've been missing, and he's really able to complete what we feel like we started 4 years ago.
Looking ahead to Metro Conference play, Coach G's crew is looking inward.
We're focused on us and the job that we have in front of us, what we need to do and what we need to do to compete and to prepare properly for the WCAC Metro.
We want to be the hardest working team on the field. We're going to work the hardest at practice, and that's going to translate into the game, and we're going to outwork the team we're playing.
I think we just have a ton of athletes out there this year. A ton of kids who care, a ton of kids who just want to win and want to win for each other.
1, 2, 3. Great reps, great competition.
We have all the parts, and our team knows it. We have some strong kids, we have size, we have speed, we have talent, but now it's a matter of putting it together and working really hard to put it together. You got to come together as a team, right? And that's the difference between a good roster and a good football team.
Heading out of Chantilly, Luke and I made the short flight down to Leonardtown, where we found Coach Brady preparing his Knights for an upcoming battle. Your job is to go make the play, man.
Never played a game I didn't think I was going to win. Even in college, we're playing Notre Dame. Lou Holtz's last game, we're at Notre Dame, and we lost like 15-0. But we went into that game, we're going to win, right? And that's the attitude you got to have in life. And I think that's why football's such a great game. It teaches us those lessons.
Our football team is all about the will to win, confidence in our abilities, and a lot of mental toughness.
NASCAR, take Miami.
All right. The WCAC's longest road trip, Riken has leveraged their environment to focus on the important life lessons found on the field and in their tight community.
Just the amount of brotherhoods that we have within the football team. We have a lot of individuals that just come together and mesh into making a football team.
On the break, ready? High school football, you don't get it back. We have the Cleo theme of lights and love each other, and I think it goes a long way in what we've done here as a team, our success, and how we're climbing.
For the returning Metro Conference champs, this season is all about consistency, proving that they can win no matter who the competition is. With a tough schedule in and out of the Catholic League, they'll have plenty of opportunities to do just that.
Iron sharpens iron. You got to earn everything. You have to earn everything.
Speaking of Knights, at Bishop Dennis J. O'Connell, just like everywhere else in the conference, COVID took away the game they loved to play, although they did manage 3 games in the spring. So third-year coach Kenny Lucas and his loyal Knights are ready to make the most of this fall's opportunity.
Having to coach through a COVID season, just something that I've never experienced before, and none of us have, obviously. So it was very interesting, to say the least.
It's really hard. Last season it was just all over the place. I was expecting a full season and just kind of got cut short.
Just the ball being thrown in the air. It was just a great time just to have the kids outdoors doing some of the things that they really enjoy doing.
Let's go, hurry.
Coach Lucas is focused on improvements on the field by building the Knights football program the right way.
That's why I got into this business of coaching, is really to share in the life and hopefully the growth and maturation of young people.
He hopes that a culture based on family and brotherhood will help them overcome challenges and lead to success.
The fact that we stay strong and stick together as a family really means a lot to me.
We do strive and stress familyhood, togetherness, and having fun.
As for the team's approach to the WCAC, there's a neighborhood feel to some of the games on the schedule.
I went to school at St. Mark in Vienna, and I grew up with a bunch of kids who are at Gonzaga now playing there.
I'm definitely looking forward to PVI and Ireton.
It's just a great league, of course, one of the premier leagues in the country.
And Coach Lucas praises the opportunity to play the best of the best with the usual one game at a time mentality.
And every game is important. We don't look past anyone. We go into each game treating it exactly the same, of course.
Hey, nice on 3, work on 6, 1, 2, 3. Nice, work.
Tradition runs deep on Harewood Road, where the Carroll Lions are connecting with their roots as a dominant athletic powerhouse in the WCAC.
Since 2019, things have really taken off for us. Everybody back in the day knew that when you put on them gold helmets that you see right here, you went to John Carroll, and then that's tradition. I wanted to be a part of that.
Coming here, it already felt like family. Like as soon as I got here, to be able to do something, you just connected to your family. It's like I'm changing history.
Steel sharpens steel.
Coach Harris, a 1991 graduate of Carroll, knows the tradition as well as anyone, but he's not getting ahead of himself. Redemption is a process, and Carroll is focused on putting in the work.
Hey, work on me, work on 3. 1, 2, 3, work!
The biggest thing is we're going to take it 1 week at a time.
To get where they want to be, the team will rely on a roster of talented players with lofty ambitions.
All our seniors are leaders because, it's their last year. They want to go out with a bang. They know 2 years ago we had the same opportunity with the seniors of the 2020 class, and we came close to both championships, but we didn't get that taste of that gold or that win.
Hey, go! Quarterback ain't gonna help you, Settle. Break.
To bring it all together, the Lions will rally around the pride.
What I'm looking forward to is winning it all. Carroll has a winning legacy. The Roar is restored, for real.
I'm excited and showing everyone that the Roar is restored.
I would say it's definitely been restored. I don't really think it ever went anywhere. It just got a little softer, But now it is coming back in a mighty way.
Compete on me, compete on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rounding out the Metro Conference, we found ourselves near the corner of Cambridge and Dartmouth in Alexandria, where the Bishop Ireton Cardinals were hard at work.
This is what we need on Saturday to be successful.
Coach Gary Wortham has been part of a turnaround before, coming from Woodbridge High School after reaching national prominence.
Rebuild, resurrect, or bring programs back to life. That's just our energy. That's one of the things that I've thrived off of.
Coach G and the Cardinals have gotten off to a slow start in 2021, but a new fresh start is all the team can ask for heading into conference play. With a mix of transfers and a new staff, this team is looking to play with energy as they become more familiar with each other through this season. Transfer quarterback Jamie Kaiser and defensive end TJ Bush look to lead the Ireton Cardinals on either side of the ball.
My goals are to just make the team better because I know every day I'm going to push myself to get better. So if I can bring that into the other guys, it'll make the team better overall.
This community here is very supportive.
Bishop Ireton football to me, just means the family and the camaraderie we have together.
We got some great new players in the team, and it's just like really fun playing with them.
I've already hit him in the mouth.
The Bishop Ireton Cardinals are a team on the come up, and this year's WCAC slate could be exactly what the team needs to get a restart on the season.
At this point right now, like fall season, it's all I think about.
The true stars of the best shows we have on our air when we go to their schools. We get to watch those kids play and those coaches coach. The Metro Division boys, it is, first of all, it was amazing. Thank you so much to each of those schools for having us out. We really appreciate getting a chance to not just be on your campus, but to be welcome like we were. And, man, it felt great. Some initial reactions, first and foremost, obviously, that drive to St. Mary's Riken is as advertised, but it is great. It is the place to be. And I wouldn't have it any other way. We had a great time, Luke and I, on that short flight. We've covered three Metro Division finals, I believe, over two live. I guess two live. You're right. And it's amazing that obviously we do have two divisions, but from 1 to 10, these programs are a step above most of the players in the country. I'll start with you, Kevin. Maybe a takeaway from somewhere you visited in the last month and a half.
Well, listen, I had a great time in the state of Virginia. The Commonwealth. I apologize. It was awesome at Ireton. Just for me personally, my first game in this conference ever was on Harewood Road. Coach Rob Harris was an untackleable fullback on the other side of the field. There was a lot of guys on the other side of the field that we didn't want to tackle. I can assure you of that. Coming back there, going to Catholic, playing up the street, living in the Heights, right up the street from Harewood Road there in the entrance. Getting back to my roots as a water boy, one of my first trips over. Carroll is that place in Washington, D.C. that if you went to another school in the city or in Maryland or Virginia, that is where you made your bones in this league. That was a proving ground. Getting to see these guys stepping up and getting back undefeated halfway through the season, the energy out there took me back to as far long ago as I just described, fellas.
That's quite a long.
It was awesome, man. Coach Harris, Nicholas Harbor, what an incredible kid.
T?
Well, first and foremost, it was just being out there again, seeing kids playing football again in somewhat of a more normal situation. That in and of itself was a huge success. But going out to O'Connell, I don't think I've been there since I was in high school. Brought back a lot of memories too. And then getting to know the kids, getting to meet them, and then having some discussions with Coach Lucas was unbelievable. This is a man who has spent the majority of his life in the WCAC. He went to Carroll, got coached by Moss Collins, comes back, coaches with Coach Moss Collins at Carroll, then at Gonzaga. He goes off and does his own thing, came back and was the head coach at Gonzaga. Now he's over at O'Connell. This man has a breadth of knowledge of WCAC
and won a
football.
title at Gonzaga, T-Bird.
This is correct. But at the same time, I'm just talking to him after we were done. He was walking me back to my car. We talked about how we had Lawrence on and Graves, and we talked about the interception and what, having the interview and the talk with him. I mean, we could have talked for hours. He had to get back to practice, but he and I were having so much fun. Just being back out there at it, man, it was really cool to be a part of.
Young Icy Wizard. I always want to shout out. We want to shout out people on the board. We appreciate you and your comments on the board tonight. We do have a live comment chat for the WCAC. I had the opportunity to drive down. We've watched Riken play, or St. Mary's Riken play in two championships and play well in both. And you know why? Because they prepare. You watch them doing film. You get a chance to see them working out. It's an impressive program. They have awesome facilities down there, and the spring season for me. We'll talk about the spring season, I guess, as we move through the show and talk about the Capitol. But St. Mary's Riken hosted us for spring games when not everyone could, and I just. Making that drive down to me kind of took me back to those extremely cold spring days. I mean, you could see your breath. The tears were running down our face. It was
they were unbelievable.
They brought the fall weather, and John Lombardo and all those guys down there. They just made us feel like it was football season, and so I really, really enjoyed.
They dominated that portion of the spring.
Yes,
they did make it feel like it was fall.
And in all fairness,
they were awesome.
We like to make fun of how far they are, but I think Paul VI has now given them a run for the money, having moved. If you're at Paul VI, I mean, if you're at St. Mary's Riken, going to Paul VI.
Oh, forget about it. I mean, that's Kilimanjaro.
I don't want to just pick them out.
No.
Well, the two of us did just spend over an hour in Falls Church, and I don't know if we got more than 0.33 miles. So
you didn't.
I get when T doesn't want to head somewhere, but guess what? It was a lot of fun to get out on the road. Be amongst the people that make this work. That was so cool. Watching how each program is run at such a high-class level. We know our kids are well taken care of out there, fellas, on the football side of things.
Well, we'll do a couple. Let's do a couple quick hitters. We'll start with UT. We're just going to highlight some coach candidate and player candidates for the Metro. And why don't you get us started?
Well, look, I know that Carroll probably has the inside track on winning this division, but you can never count out Aaron Brady. The man knows how to coach. He comes. You heard him talking earlier. I mean, playing against Notre Dame, he expected to win because he came from a college program at Rutgers where he played, learned, and that's how he prepares these guys. And we've seen it the last two championships that he's been able to prepare his team to go out there and win championships, and you can never count Coach Brady out.
How about a player?
I think I'm going to go to Carroll and say Elijah Solomon, the senior running back, 100 yards in every single game so far this season. Kevin was talking with a young man, and he also gets it. He's had cousins and other family members in this conference. He wants to do what they did. He wants to be a part of the tradition. That's a guy you got to look out for because that's a guy who's hungry, who's made some goals and dreams for himself, and he's going to go after them.
Kevin, how about hit us up with a couple quick ones on a coach and a player you got to see and maybe keeping your eyes on?
Sure. Coach first, I'm going to go up with Rob Harris. I just love what he's done as a man. Forget about a coach or a teacher, just as a man there at Carroll. He's been an institution himself, one of the most well-respected people on staff, and you understand why after 10 seconds. The nicest guy ever. Like I said, he was a big, burly fullback that no one could tackle, but what a kind-hearted guy, and he knows this game. He knows this team. He's been sitting there for 2 years ready for this season, and as you can see so far, they've sprung into action. The Lions are out there dominating, and that's going to be my pick for who I think would be the coach of the year, and for many, many reasons on and off the field, Ken.
How about a player?
I had the most impressive conversation with Nicholas Harbor that I think you can have with a young junior in high school. I'm not sure if he's going to be an Olympian or if he's going to be a Heisman Trophy winner, but I will tell you this. He will be the most sought-after recruit in the senior class next season in the nation. He's a freak of nature on the field. He is brilliant with a 4.0 student and a stud. I don't know what he wants to do, but president is in the equation.
It's going to be going up against Asia Shepherd, who we obviously that would be a great ticket. Obviously,
hey man, we got it all in this conference.
We got it all in this conference. All right, I'll wrap it up with I guess you know what? How could you not be impressed with what Coach G is doing over at Paul VI? Yeah. First of all, I love listening to him talk about football or anything at all. Not just because his name ends in a vowel, but I love hearing what he has to say. I love hearing how he inspires those kids. And shoot, I mean, he's like Norman Dale. You got Jimmy to play on the team. You know, he's got Doug McDaniel, who is the player I'm going to throw out there. I mean,
That's going to be worth the take.
I think it's time for me to play.
I think it's time for me to play ball. When Doug McDaniel said that, when we were watching him, people were like, "Oh, Doug McDaniel's playing football." I'm like, "No, he's not."
I'm not so sure how Juwan Howard feels
He
about
hates
it right
it.
now. But,
He hates it.
You know, I think
really
you guys are wrong.
looking forward to
Jawan's old school. I think he loves these
He
tough
might.
Midwestern guys.
He
Juwan
might.
played in the Big Ten. He knows what has to happen on the football field. I think he likes it. He doesn't want anything to happen.
I love it.
But what a beast. I love it.
And as a side note to Coach Harris and Carroll, congratulations on a big win over my Mustangs on Saturday, 6-0 for the Harewood Lions, and man, that's just an awesome thing. I think the comment that you made, Kevin, it was 5-0 Carroll at 4-0 McNamara. It felt like 1990.
I said, "What's this, 1990?"
Oh, it was
and
so
I
great.
love it.
It was
Keep
so
it rolling.
Perfect. Exactly,
Coach.
it's exactly what we need
Yes.
back in our lives.
Both coaches.
Big time win. All right, I'll tell you what. We got another division to cover. The Capital, it is going to be extremely competitive this season. We do apologize on behalf of the Gonzaga Eagles. Hey, listen, we know the world we live in these days. We know how schedules and the world has been turned upside down by COVID. Just did not happen for us and for Coach Trivers, and that's unfortunate. But I'll tell you what, we do all expect to see some purple in our lives, late fall, meaningful games. You know that's going to happen, and we certainly have enjoyed having the Purple Eagles on our show, and we'll have them on again. But without further ado, the Capital Division.
DeMatha enters every year with high expectations, but there are always challenges to overcome, and DeMatha's first challenge was losing their senior quarterback, Blake Kendall, to a season-ending injury. But the team has rallied behind freshman Denzel Gardner, relying on playmakers and a running game to set the tone.
It was a big loss and a tough loss, and it's the next man up philosophy that we've always had here at DeMatha.
Visible, be visible. Everybody on this team right now is about the team.
Get straight to business. We gotta do what we gotta do to win. Represent DeMatha the best we can.
But Coach McGregor hasn't won 20 league championships in over 40 years to know defense is where you need to be strongest.
I think the one aspect that's been carrying us through the first 3 games has been our defense. Yeah, we have Dino Campbell back as our defensive coordinator. Great to have him. He's been with me forever.
DeMatha is perennially in the hunt for the WCAC title, and this year is no different, as their confidence and respect for this league shows.
Without a doubt, it's the best conference in the country. I mean, it's as good top to bottom as you're going to find anywhere. You have to bring your A game every week.
It's just exciting to go against the best of the best in the country. Every game in the conference is we playing against the best players in the area, all over the country.
History and tradition, fertile ground for building confidence. McGregor has laid the foundation for continued success with a clear, simple blueprint of what it means to play football at DeMatha.
When somebody comes to DeMatha, they're expected to be in the weight room. They're expected to do the conditioning. They're expected to be good student athletes.
I'm gonna say I think we're gonna win it all, but I'm not gonna never downplay anybody. It's not gonna be easy. Go.
But it's great to be back, sweating a little bit, being on the field. We're here in Hyattsville, and there's nothing like it.
DeMatha on 3. 1, 2, 3.
DeMatha! All right, let's go. Break off. Let's get things going. Let's have a great goal.
The last time the WCAC conducted a fall regular season, it was good counsel that finished on top. Riding one of the best defenses in the country, the Falcons took care of St. John's and Gonzaga in one of the more memorable WCAC football postseasons. After graduating co-defensive players of the year from that season and then losing an entire fall schedule, head coach Andy Stefanelli used the WCAC spring slate to develop the next wave of Falcon stars.
Well, we really treated it like spring ball for us, so we tried to kind of do it right by our seniors that were still playing. We had a young team, so we had a lot of sophomores and freshmen up with us, and we treat it like spring ball as a college program would, and it had a lot of challenges, but we really think it paid dividends for all the players, including the seniors. They got a good experience too, but the young guys really seem to benefit from it.
No player in the league got more benefit from spring games than sophomore quarterback Neo Avery, who blossomed into a dual threat under center in 5 short weeks. Andy Stefanelli knows this league as well as any coach out there, and he understands what it takes to achieve success as a student athlete in Olney.
It's awesome, and it's really difficult at the same time. So there's nothing like playing the WCAC games, the rivalries, the familiarity we have with each other and the players. It's super challenging. I think that in itself makes our league the hardest in the country. It's difficult, but there's nothing like playing those WCAC games.
Playing for Coach Stefanelli and in front of their fellow students and Good Counsel community has been a welcome change from the empty stands of the pandemic.
Playing here it gives you more opportunities than you would in a lot of places.
We probably work the hardest out of any other school, condition the most. That's definitely it.
After 21 years as an assistant and a pandemic season in the books, St. John's rookie head coach Pat Ward is a walking symbol of patience. His message? Win each day, and the goal is 1-0, week to week. So far, his players have responded by barreling out of the gates with an undefeated record heading into league play.
All of our coaches, since the start of camp, just go 1-0, win the day. So I'm not too worried about how the future works. If we just take care of each day, one day at a time, I think we'll be all right.
We respect everyone we play, but we think if we're doing all the right things and concentrating on us, then we're going to have a very good shot to win games.
The plan is to take each game at a time, start the week 0-0, keep winning it every day, and the other stuff won't follow. But the goal is to get the WCAC championship.
The defense has spearheaded the charge while only giving up 7 points in 4 games in September and 13 total on the year. Offensively, it starts with number 5, Jamar Curtis, and he has exceeded the hype as defenses outside the league continue to practice social distancing when he's got the ball. With senior quarterback Wyatt Hagan's leadership, a deep and experienced wide receiver group, and a mammoth O-line, the SJC offense is averaging over 33 points per game.
Coming into the year, we had to kind of prove ourselves, and we got to kind of let people know that we're St. John's and we're here to win football games.
The defense has 7 players with Power 5 offers, and guys like Josh Thompson, Arturo Maddox, and Rohan Davey. This is as fast and athletic as any D in the country. This group plays hard, together, and hopes to eventually get to the top of the WCAC mountain, one day at a time.
The team is excited to play. A bunch of hungry guys ready for a bunch of competition. We play a bunch of great teams, and we feel like our biggest competition will probably be us itself. We have a bunch of respect for all the teams out here. We just want to play. That's it.
Playing hard, working hard, those things go hand in hand to being successful in life. See the really talented teams in college and pros, they play to a standard, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Over in Forestville, Coach Kiata Malloy has taken the Bishop McNamara program from a winless season prior to his arrival to an undefeated start this fall. However, the Mustangs' success under Coach Malloy is bigger than wins and losses.
This is a high-character group of kids. I don't worry about them. I have the best job in America. I don't stress. I know they're going to do the right thing, but they know when to lock in and focus, so that's always the biggest part.
Off the field, we do great in school. We're great young men. That's one of the things Coach Malloy makes sure as we know, to be great people and great students as well as athletes.
He wants to make us great football players, but more than that, just great men in general.
These Mustang men bring that character and commitment to the gridiron every day, believing that preparation and discipline lead to success.
And the bottom line is preparation. You know, I tell the guys all the time, when we prepare, when we go out and execute, we can play with anybody in the country. You know, we have talent too.
The competition level, I think it prepares you for college more than anywhere else.
We all have high expectations, and we just want to be great. So each day coming out, we just give 100% and try to be the best players that we can.
In the storied tradition of the WCAC, McNamara is writing the next chapter of its proud legacy.
I feel like people do respect us because, you know, the people we're playing, they're really great teams, and, you know, it takes a lot to go up against them. A lot of people don't want to play them, and for us to play them constantly every year just shows that, you know, we want the smoke and we just want to play whatever.
It means we got a lot to prove, that we can compete in this conference, and we just got to go out there and show everybody that we can.
We feel like we can make some noise in this conference and go win a WCAC title.
Love seeing that, Jim. Takes me all the way back to my days as a Mustang. Actually, I'm still a Mustang forever. That was awesome being there. I love Keanu Malloy once again. We did say they had an undefeated start. We did tip our hat to Coach Harris and Carroll. That was a great Carroll McNamara showdown this past week. Capital Division is in great hands. We were missing Randy Travers there. 5 amazing coaches, 5 awesome rosters, incredible student bodies. Kevin, this time you get to start us off. Maybe some takeaways, something you saw, something you heard, something you liked.
Well, what I don't like and what I heard was talking about freshman year at McNamara in that gym. If anyone out there at McNamara has a photograph or any footage of Ken, day one, freshman year, 1990, in his McNamara gym outfit, I mean, there's no dollar that I won't risk.
How short do you think those shorts are?
I can't even imagine.
Sweet Lewis Bullock and I running the show, and he ran I didn't run anything. He probably didn't pass to me too much, but that's okay.
Well, listen, here's what I take from it. Heading out to my alma mater and having the opportunity to be a part of this whole entire thing. Each one of these men is such an inspiring leader. Once again, we talked about it all week. Our kids are in great hands out here. And watching all the interviews and getting to see them all week with you guys and put this together, I wish everyone that loves the league as much as we do could have the perspective that we've had from the inside out with all of this after the pandemic season, understanding what great kids we have, what great kids play football. It's not a bad thing. These kids are so well adjusted. We heard the McNamara young men talking about how good they do academically. It's keeping them in a place that's safer than they would be if they weren't part of this nucleus. There's different gangs to be a part of that don't have helmets and shoulder pads. And what we've done in this conference, in this area, D.C., Virginia, and Maryland, to me, is so inspiring. It's the greatest sport on earth. I have a huge passion for it. And being from right here is why. This conference is where I grew up. There's a reason why we feel this way, and it's been proven right here, right on the video we just watched.
T?
Yeah, first of all, the thing that really sticks out to me is after seeing that and talking with some of the coaches and the players, it's about to get real. I mean, this is WCAC football. It's about to start. But also just loved hearing how all the kids talk about brotherhood and family, and I think that means a little something. Yes, they're sort of cliche-ish, but I think it means more this year than ever before because of what these kids and coaches had to go through for the last year and a half. It's just been so different. They've been through so much, and they've had to endure some of that stuff just to get to this point, to actually let it, lay it out and put it on the line one more time like that, like we're used to having it happen. Also, just want to note, I had a great opportunity to meet Blake Kendall, a quarterback from DeMatha, both with injuries, but Blake's going to be fine. I just love to hear how a young man has moved up from Florida, transferred in, had the opportunity to take over a program, dislocates his ankle in the first game, second series of the year. He's out for the season, but how he's helping Denzel Gardner out. He's being a coach player. He's still a part of it all. And he said to coach, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it with you guys. And it just showed, it was an example of the brotherhood and the family atmosphere that we all see and feel. And you hate to see anybody go down, especially in their senior year. But Blake, you're going to be back, my brother. I know it.
Well, I could talk all day about Forestville, but I want to make sure Andy Stefanelli has a real soft spot in our hearts. I think he just reminds us of people.
Get out of the weight room, coach. What's going on, man?
You see those guns?
What's happening?
Dude, I mean, seriously, Kyle and I were kind of keeping our distance.
It's because I called him Air Raid Andy, and
yeah,
he wants to see me somewhere. I don't want any trouble.
He was intimidating.
Don't call him any more names.
I love.
I'm not saying anything.
Talking to him, he's just a great. He's a great example of the bridge between what we grew up with and what kids are getting now. So often we're so worried that they're not getting the same experience or not being having the same values instilled and same principles and in some ways the same style. I know that's 25, 35 years ago style doesn't always fly. Coach Stefanelli makes me feel all warm and fuzzy that the kids now are still getting it the way we got it from coaches, and that's a great thing because we all had great coaches. And so I know we have also plenty of time to talk about Military Road. In fact, I'll let you get things started. Let's talk about a player and a coach out of the Capitol.
You know who my coach is. Listen, when a guy has look, this face has no damaging scars on it, and it should have on and off the field. Thanks, Coach Ward. My guy, my brother for life. I'm just so happy for him to have this opportunity. We call him the People's Choice down at St. John's. He's been so patient, and that's why he's leading this team at a day-by-day pace, and that's what they're talking about. That's the guy, and I look forward to seeing him doing what he's done for his entire life, just with a different title. And you guys know my favorite player in high school football this year.
I do.
I've been talking about him for 4 years. My dad coached him in JV football. I've had eyes on this young man for years. Jamar Curtis is pound for pound the most exciting football player in the nation at some times. He's the reason why you get in your car and drive to the stadium. He's also the reason why you type on First Amendment Sports on YouTube and don't want to miss a play. This kid brings it. He's exceeded the hype. And he's not a big guy, but he plays huge. He's tough as nails. He's as exciting as it gets. He's why I love it, man. That's my pick. Both of them right there.
T?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in-house on my side, too. Shocker.
Yeah, you knew how this was going to go no matter what.
But no, I love the fact that Bill McGregor's back. And even though he came close his first year back, I think he's got this program back to where he feels comfortable and the kids are buying in. Loved being out there, being a part of the atmosphere. If anybody can do it in this league, Bill can do it. He's been coaching for way too long, knows the formula to success, and he's going to get that going at DeMatha. And then the one guy I think who can counter Jamar in this league is Kevin KJ Winston.
KJ.
This kid is as smooth on the field as he is off the field.
Yep.
He has got all the tools it takes to play at the next level. And he's got the speed to match with Jamar. I think we saw it in the spring, with him coming from the safety position and Jamar trying to turn that corner. We see him turn all the time on almost everybody. It's going to be fun to see those two guys really going up head-to-head with each other. And KJ, too, being a dual-threat guy playing both offense and defense, much like DeMarco Helms of a couple years ago.
Yep.
I just think he can be such a force in all three aspects of the game for DeMatha.
All right, well, if that's how we're going to do it. You guys know how we all feel about Coach Stefanelli, but in pre-production, and we've told this story a lot, when we had Coach Kiata Malloy from Bishop McNamara on the show, right after Coach Kagenius left, and he took over a program that was kind of bereft of upperclassmen, and wins, and I think he famously told us, hey, that there's not a lot of 10-0 jobs out there available, and that's just not the way it goes. You take a program and you put yourself into it. And as an alum and as somebody who, enjoys, following what they've been able to do, it's amazing. It's amazing because we all remember our conference is greatest when all the teams are getting it done. Coach Malloy has led him back to getting it done. We loved watching that Carroll-McNamara matchup on Saturday, and I was extremely excited to see them get to such a hot start, this year. And it gets real hard. I think what we always say is nobody has a harder 4-game stretch in the nation than Bishop McNamara High School. They're going to go St. John's, DeMatha, Good Counsel, Gonzaga. I don't know any high school in the world that
But I don't know
does
anybody who respects anybody more than that McNamara
Yep.
program to take on that schedule every single year.
Yep.
And Kiata's got them heading in the right direction. There's no doubt about it. I loved being out there. I felt really bad that I only had my DeMatha mask.
That's okay.
While I was on campus, I almost came home with some Mustang swag because I think he wanted to give me a
I know
Mustang.
he did. I know. You look good in maroon and gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
But listen, But we have to give to the other guys. I mean, Andy Stefanelli. Go ahead.
I just got to give my player because I'm going to go over to the good counsel side.
Right. You haven't got a
and talk about a kid we saw grow up in 5 weeks. We showed up week 1 of the spring season down at St. Mary's Riken, and things were exactly what you thought they would be. A bunch of players and coaches who didn't have a fall season had a hard time getting kids together, and in 5 short weeks, Neo Avery turned into just an amazing specimen of a football player. It was striking, and it happened right in front of our eyes. We wish nothing but the best for him, obviously, and for that entire program. We had a chance. He was obviously one of the good counsel players we had a chance to talk to. I'm rooting for you, Neo. I love – we're going to get a chance to see just a little bit more from him in the closing credits that'll just make you smile, especially all you old fools out there. But he's a special kind of player, and I am excited to see what the future holds for him.
Yeah, and let's not forget, I mean, Gonzaga was the only team that went 5-0 in the spring.
That's correct.
For what that's worth, they're actually the ones that can say, we're on top of the mountain right now that need to get knocked off. And Gonzaga did it 2 years ago under the real season. So it's going to be so much fun.
That's right.
To see these guys go at it, and we're going to see a lot of really good football in the next few weeks.
Mid-October, brother.
Mid-October. We will, in fact, be live on Saturday at St. John's hosting my Bishop McNamara Mustangs. We'll be back at St. John's as they host the Good Counsel Falcons later on in the season 2 weeks from now. You never know. You might see us in the week in between. We'll do a little call out if there's a game out there and you guys are interested in the First Amendment sports team getting after it on I believe it's the weekend of the 16th. Please let us know.
We're like athletic directors also. We're trying to patch those games in and figure it out and deal with COVID the same exact way. And guess what? You guys know we want to be there.
We want to be there.
We don't know if you want us there, but we want to be there, man. There's no doubt about it.
We will be bringing you the postseason. As you well know, this is the road to the championship, which will be on the First Amendment Sports Channel. We'll have more information and tuning in directions between now and then. I believe that's the weekend of November 5th and November 13th and November 20th, if I'm not mistaken. November 5th is obviously the final week of the WCAC season.
Right.
Well, guys, it has been awesome. We just can't thank Luke and Kyle enough for really making this look great, really showing everybody that we not only do we care enough to go out to all these places, but that we love these places enough to shine them up.
I know I'm sitting here, but I love that. As a fan of this league, I love what you guys did. I had nothing to do with any of that, so I can say that. Fantastic, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
If this is the way we're going to kick it off, I can't wait to see what we got in weeks to come, man.
We will see you all on Saturday. Tune in here on the First Amendment Sports YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It's free on the YouTube channel. And give us a like. Give us a hit the bell. You'll know when we're live on Saturday at 2 from Military Road. We will be heading on out with a little montage, hearing what the kids are listening to in the locker room and on the field. We'll see you on Saturday. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, he's Kevin.
Hey, we asked, so here we go.
I'm Ken. We'll see you in a few short days.
Let me ask you now, we're going to back it up a little bit. Who's getting the most play in the locker room on the speakers? Who gets the most run right now?
You guys getting ready for practice, getting ready for games. Who's the artist that's on?
What are you guys listening to in the locker room and on the field?
I got Whitney Houston on my playlist. I do. Yeah, I got Boys to Men, No Addition. I got all the old school.
I can give you 3. I'm gonna go Dirk, Lil Durk, Lil Baby, and NBA Youngboy.
We play a lot of Lil Baby, NBA Youngboy, a lot of rap.
NBA Youngboy, just a whole bunch of rappers, But personally, me, I like Youngboy.
We listen to a lot of Youngboy and stuff like that, Drake's new album, so that's getting a lot of play in the locker room.
A lot of NBA Youngboy, a lot of No Cap. That's pretty much it. That's all I play.
Right before the game, I listen to some NBA Youngboy, get myself mad.
Youngboy, NBA Youngboy right now.
Youngboy. Oh, it gotta be Youngboy. Every day.
Lil Baby, Lil Durk, NBA Youngboy.
A lot of Lil Baby. They run it up. They get us hyped for the game.
Lil Baby, NBA Youngboy, so definitely Lil Baby.
Definitely
Lil Baby. Yeah. The one song I say is Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. That's the one song that you play no matter what. Everybody's going to be bumping to it. So
in the locker room, it's Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
A lot of DMV artists. that the guys let it play.
So like we got our mainstream guys, we got our local guys, no savages of the area.
You're talking local, do you ever go?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah?
definitely go go for
Gotta
sure.
go go.
Got to.
We have our game day playlist. I don't really control most of it because I'm not part of one of the music people.
There's just certain songs that if we hear you listen to certain songs, you're not getting the aux.
After the last game, we was playing some music. You know, he was to get a hype with us after the win, so I guess he likes it as well too. So
When you're in this profession, you got to be able to be a chameleon. That's one thing I've learned over my time, that you can never be too disconnected.
They do not consult with me on the music choices. You could verify that with the guys over here.
You can ask Kevin. I love rap, but I think it's all passed me by.
If we take the words out of the music they play, I'll listen to it without the words. That would be my aux song.
Sometimes I'll give a guy a ride home and I'm like, listen to this. You know, we listened to like Jay-Z's first album, one of my players, we're driving home. And he's like, oh, he's pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.